Hey, what's up everyone? Danny Lightning back with another video. Today we're going to be checking out the HS Custom Chevelle CHIZZLD. This is a really cool car. We're going to do a stage 5 shift and tune, stage 6 max shift and tune. We're going to look for a low performance point high evo live racing setup, and we're going to do a review on the car and find out if this thing is any good and if it's worth your money. Today we're recording on the content account, so thank you to YouTuber Nitro for CSR for access to the account so we can teach you guys about the cars. And when you have this car 100% maxed out with all the stage 6 and all the fusions, nitrous all the way to the right, final drive 2.0, and tire pressure 8 psi. That gives us a 6.996 on the dyno time, so we know this is at least a 6.9 car. So far, the best run I've gotten is a 6.953, but I'll show you guys how to drive it. So basically, we want to let go of the gas right before we get to number 1. We're going to get an almost perfect start. The needle is going to kick back. So right after the needle kick back, hit your nitrous and all the shift pretty much right before the red line. And most of the time, I'm getting 7.0, so that's what you can expect to get most runs. So here we go. 3, 2, 1... go. Nitrous, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and that's pretty much the deal right there. So we'll either hit 6.9s or 7.0s. And so far, I don't really love the way that it's driving. Honestly, it's pretty easy to get the kickbacks, but you know, I just don't really like the kickbacks. And I don't like cars that you hit nitrous on first gear, but that's just me. That's nothing wrong with the car. I just don't like that personally. All right, so yeah. Now we're going to fit this car to stage 5 parts only and do a stage 5 shift and tune. So let's go do it to it. Now the good news and the bad news is we can just leave the tune the same, but the car is not very tunable. So hey, there is that. All right, go ahead and put your nitrous all the way to the right. Put your final drive on 2.0 and your tires on 8 psi. And that's going to give us an 8.299, so basically an 8.3 on the dyno time. And we're going to drive the car the same way as well. Let go of the gas right before number 1. The needle's going to kick back, hit your nitrous, all the rest of the shifts right before the red line, just like this. 3, 2, 1, go. Kick back, nitrous, blup, blup, blup. I know I'm making funny sounds, blup. But those are the sounds of the car shifting. All right, don't mind me. I'm a crazy person. And we should have beat the dyno by just a little bit right there if we got a good run. And we got a 8.203. The last one was a 1.8. Hold on. The last one was an 8.162. That's what happens when you're dyslexic and you cannot read. Now we're going to see if we can find one of those low performance point high evo setups. These are normally really good for live racing or beating the dyno time. So let's see if we can find one of these for this car. So far it seems like a pretty cool car, but let's see if we can find the low performance point high evo tune and setup. Okay, so this is really interesting. I would try and set it up like this first. You don't need any stage 6 parts. Now the numbers on paper don't look good, but the way the car is performing and beating the dyno, this is going to be a pretty big dyno beating setup on this low performance point high evo tune. So this will be really interesting. Again, I cannot take this particular account into live racing to test it out, but I think it's going to do pretty good if you set your engine to stock, turbo to stock, intake stock, nitrous 3, body on stock, tires on 3, and transmission on stage 4. Put your nitrous all the way to the right, final drive 3.35 and tire pressure on 8 psi, and that's going to give us a 13.0, meaning we should probably get this car into the 13.0 lobby, but I think we're going to be running like 12.5, so this just might, even though the numbers don't look good on paper, this is either going to be really good or really bad at live racing. Again, I cannot take this account in there to test it out. This is just the content account for, you know, it's basically just a tool for showing you how to drive cars, but I would drive it like this. 3, 2, 1, let go of the gas. All right, nitrous, second, third, fourth, and here comes fifth, Actually, we're not going to shift into fifth. We're just going to go ahead and let it run out. And we should get like, 13 zeros, 12.5s. Now, if I drive it a little bit differently, right? If I drive it a little bit differently, that was a 13.2. So we don't want to get the kickback. What we want to do is let go of the gas a little bit. Let's try that again. That didn't go well. Let's try that again. So we want to let go of the gas after number 1. 3, 2, 1, go. Second nitrous. We don't want the kickback on the live racing setup. That's going to make it run much slower. So we want to drive it like that for the live racing setup. And we should run something like a 12.5, maybe a 12.6, maybe a 12.7. It's a little bit of a weird car, but that means we're going to have to slow it down a couple times before we cross the finish line. There we got a 12.666, and that's a little bit scary right there. I don't know if I like those times. That's a freaking me out. But we did beat the dyno time by a few tenths of a second, and we can beat it by a little bit more if you let go of the gas at just the right time and shift into second at just the right time. But let's see what we can do if we add a couple of stage 6 parts to this. So if you set it up just like that, but you add a stage 6 transmission and a stage 6 body, we are now up over 2,000 Evo points with a dyno time of a 10.3 basically. So let's go ahead and do a couple of runs. And if we can get this thing to run 10.3 or faster, this is probably going to be a disgustingly sick, crazy, awesome live racer with that low performance point high Evo setup. So the car was running a little bit weird, so we're just going to move our transmission over to 2.25. This is going to bust the dyno and probably be a ridiculous live racing car. So yeah, I think this is going to be crazy. So let's go ahead and just drive it like this. We're going to go ahead and just get the kickback, right? Let go of the gas right before 1. It's going to kick back, hit your nitrous, and then all the shifts right before the red line, just like we drove it on stage 5 and stage 6. 3, 2, 1, go. Second, third, fourth. For some reason, when I hit the nitrous, it didn't go off. It's very important to get the nitrous to activate when you hit it. So I actually had to hit it twice, and that slowed me down quite a bit. But as soon as the NATO kickbacks, if you hit the nitrous, it gives the car a crazy boost. You're going to see we went from a 10.3 to a 10.682 just because the fact that the nitrous did not go off. But we're also looking at a dyno of an 11.0, so either way, it just destroyed the dyno time. So with that low performance point high Evo setup with those stage 6 parts, it's weird, but it will destroy the dyno, and we got 1,709 Evo points. So that's a pretty crazy car. That's a really crazy car. All right, so now we're going to do a little review on this thing. So the car has crazy good top speed. It's got nice acceleration. I mean, the acceleration was crazy good. I think the 0 to 60 and the 0 to 100 were both under 1 second when you max it out. It's just an all-around really cool car. It is capable of busting dyno if you tune it correctly. So honestly, I think this is a really good car, but it's weird to drive. It's weird to tune. It's going to take a minute to get used to this car, but once you get used to this thing, I think it's a really good car. I definitely think it's worth getting. I mean, unfortunately, all I can do is tell you what it looks like for the low performance point high Evo because I can't test drive this on a live race, but I'm pretty sure that a car with these type of numbers and that type of performance, if you get those stage 6 parts on there, is going to stomp people in live racing. If not, at least you got a big giant dyno beater, which will beat dyno by like at least half a second if you get everything right. So pretty cool car overall. I think it's worth getting. I think it's a very nice car, and it looks pretty cool as well. So there we go. Thanks for watching my video. I hate to say, but it's time to go. Maybe you could watch another one. That might be really fun. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for watching you. Thanks for watching my video.